Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, When Tay Talk. I am Tay, and I am here with another little episode of Here We Go with the Bullshit. Y'all, here we go with the bullshit, okay? So, first things first, everything on the channel is alleged and in my opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so you know every time your girl upload a new video, and also share this mo. Okay, share with your friends, family, enemies, stalkers, whomever you would like. Okay, child, mind your business. Where your girl been? I've been out in these damn streets. Okay, I done been to Vegas and I done been back. Y'all see, I still ain't got no damn tan. Okay. Because I took hot clothes there. I didn't know it was going to be like in the 70s. I thought it was going to be like in the 60s because the temperature said, the weather report says 60s. So I, brought stuff that, for the 60s, not no damn 70s. It was nice out there. Shit. Okay. Mind your business again. But y'all see your girl is in some motion. Okay. Y'all, I don't know what these people want from me. All I try to do is stay employee of the month at the gas station and do my job. What else? What else do they want from me? Okay. You wasted your damn time because you're going to get the flow wipe with your crazy ass. I don't know if these people, what is this? Lunatics and damn mental health damn sector? People after people so damn bad. Leave people the hell alone. I thought you do content. Like, don't you do your stuff? You got your stuff going on. What you bothering all little When Tay Talk for? But I digress. I mean, if I was them, I would want to bother me too. Okay, but hey. Get a life. But what I want to come in and talk about today is, do y'all see that the girl that was in the infamous R. Kelly video wrote a book and she's out. She is out and she's standing on business. I'm proud of her. She's very well spoken. And I was going to come on here and go through the Rolling Stone article that she did, but I see that she did an interview on CBS today, and I want to live react to that. Okay. So, and most people know about this girl, this young lady. Well, she's still a young lady. She's like, I think they said in her early 40s. I just think this situation was so hurtful. Just, hearing some of the stuff that was, in the Rolling Stone article. And I think I'm going to order her book and see what's going on with that book, because I don't know if I told y'all or not, but I never was like a big R. Kelly fan. I did see that video when it came out, and like watching it broke my heart, because before I was just hearing about it and I'm like, she probably not that young, and they probably, or she probably one of them up the stacked up and all this stuff, and he know how old she was. But when I seen that video, I was so fucking disgusted and heartbroken, because I was like, her body hadn't even developed yet. Clearly, she was still a young girl. Like, clearly. I don't even think, they said that she was like 14 in that video. I don't think she was 14. I don't think she was 14. But she may have been, because even at 14, your body is usually developed a little bit more. Her body wasn't developed like a 14-year-old at all. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. And really, like, from there on, like, like it just confirmed like I never really like liked R. Kelly like that. I never was like a fan of his music or anything. And I don't know if that means that it's something coming about Beyonce or whatever, but like I like Beyonce, but I'm not like huge on her music and stuff like that. Like, you know, Didim tell me, because Didim is a huge Beyonce fan, and she like, you got to go to a concert, and I want to go to one of her concerts, but I don't know. I don't see what everybody see with her. Like, I know she's super hella talented, she's gorgeous, all of the things, but I'm just not like a big fan of hers. It's just like a couple songs of hers that I really like that I can just play on repeat. And I think that's Halo and If I Was a Boy. She got a couple other ones that, you know, I'll bop to, but only Halo and If I Was a Boy are ones that are on like any of my playlists that I just, you know, watch or whatever. But this R. Kelly stuff, it was disgusting, and I'm glad this young lady has come out and is speaking her side of the story, and, you know, saying what happened. Like, she's not blaming anyone but the culprit, it looks like. But I didn't watch this video here, but from her other Rolling Stones, it looked like, you know, she was being very careful on not to place blame on people and stuff like that. And it looks like this young lady's father was active in her life. So it's strange to me, like, what was the breakdown of this? What was this? And then she still maybe have some trauma and still may be brainwashed as it pertains to her parents as well. So let's see what the video has to say. Let me put a fair use. Okay, and I will be stopping because this is the first time that I'm watching this. So I will put, you know, some stop it and, you know, do commentary, of course. Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Feel present.
Mm-hmm. When I think about the amount of time that has passed based on how long you knew R. Kelly, I think so many people have wanted to hear from you for so long. How does it feel to not be Jane Doe anymore?
It feels very rewarding. It feels very liberating, which was a part of the reason why I wanted to write this book, because I really wanted to live in my true skin, in my true self.
And your true self today is what?
My true self today is Reshona Landfair, not Jane Doe, not Sean. It's who I am as a person, who I am as a mother, a friend, a daughter, a colleague, etc.
You dedicate this book to your dad, your son, and you say your inner self.
Mm-hmm.
Who else would you say this book is for?
This book is for every person who has gone through some sort of trauma or some sort of uncomfortable moment in their life where they blamed themselves, were ashamed or embarrassed to live in their true skin, and just really took the faults of other people and, you know, kind of hid behind that. So it was just really freeing for me, and I wanted to share my experience with people who have been in similar situations.
You obviously.
This young lady is so well spoken for the trauma that she has endured. She's very well spoken. It looks like she's lived an okay life, at least on the outside. And I wonder, like, does she have like a relationship with her son's father? Like, what's that about? And I find it, again, like, I want to see what's the reason and why she dedicated it to her father. And not her father and her mother, but her father. Like, what is that about? Like, what's going on there?
Obviously talk in this book about how it started. You don't start at the moment people start talking about you or knowing anything about who you are and who you're associated with. But you describe at length how it started. You mentioned your aunt, the artist Sparkle, who used to work with R. Kelly. I want to read some of it from, I think it was page 18. You say in the book, the next time we're at the studio, this is what you say, Sparkle said. You say your aunt told you the next time we're at the studio, you should ask Robert to be your godfather. Aunt Sparkle explained that I should sit on his lap and rub his head while I asked him to be my godfather. This instruction seemed sort of weird since I hadn't sat on his lap before, but I didn't question it. When you think back, is that where it all begins? Is that the start?
That is the start. That is the start of him entering into my life in a different way than just being an artist or hanging out at the studio. It became more personable at that moment.
So Sparkle told her to do that? But Sparkle was the one that like reported him and all of that stuff. So, I mean, Sparkle, you got some explaining to do. Like, did you want her to do that because you knew that he liked young girls? And were you testing to see if he really liked them? Or like what was that about? Because why did you do that? Did you do that again to dangle her over him because you knew that he liked young girls and then he took it too far? Like, what happened? Because that right there to me would have been too far. Anyway, we know what no fucking young girls are supposed to be sitting on no man's lap, but her daddy's.
Because you yourself were an artist. You were a part of a rap group. You had toured Europe, you'd been to Europe, and it was your aunt, you said, that introduced the family to R. Kelly because he's this successful artist from Chicago. At this time, he's really starting to blow up. He left the group that he was in. And it was interesting, exhilarating, fun to be around him. Is kind of how you describe it in the beginning. I mean, this is a big superstar, and you have access to him like, hey, I want to hang out in the studio. And at the time, in the beginning, he's treating you like a normal, excited kid that wants to learn more about the business.
Correct.
So when do things turn? And I know you go into great detail, the early stages and why this is so complicated, your mindset at that time.
Well, during the time that I met him, I'm also a teenage girl who's going through puberty. And so some of the things that I was thinking or feeling were just normal expressions to, you know, my maturity level at the time. And so it starts very innocent. It starts, you know, being mesmerized and, like you said, like admiring this person. And then, you know, it kind of gets a little deeper or more complicated when that person is able to, you know, see what you can't see, the way you're developing, you know, your conversation, your personality traits. So it kind of became more complicated when he started analyzing me and, you know, the things that I was going through and who I was becoming as a person. And again, I was excited and mesmerized to, you know, be under his wing and to be a part of his habitat. So that's how things kind of unfolded.
Grooming. He was watching her like a damn hawk. Watching her like a hawk. Seeing what her weaknesses was, seeing how she was developing. A predator.
So we know that things progress beyond looking out for you as almost like a goddaughter, and it turns into something more than that. I want to go and stay with your aunt Sparkle, who I've interviewed before. And she was the first person to really sort of say, you need to go check over there. Something's not right. I think there's something going on that should not be going on. In the book, you describe social services coming to your home to do a welfare check. And your parents are shocked. They think perhaps maybe she's just jealous because she's no longer associated with R. Kelly. And then obviously 2001, 2002, we're talking about the tape.
But if she wasn't affiliated with him anymore, then how was she around to even see this stuff that was going on? So clearly she still was around, but I guess... Did Sparkle ever say if her and R. Kelly had anything going on?
But why don't you think anyone believed your aunt Sparkle when she first raised a red flag about a possible inappropriate relationship?
I don't think they believed her because there were no obvious signs of what was actually taking place. It was more coming from her end, maybe looking like a motive from, like you said, not being around him. And those kind of questions or concerns didn't happen until she was no longer a part of, you know, his camp or the things that were taking place, you know, her as an artist. That's when those questions started to raise.
Oh, so she didn't raise the questions until after their relationship maybe had been dismantled. And so it came off like she was being bitter and jealous and stuff like that. But as a parent, you still supposed to be like checking into that shit, because why would your sibling lie to you or make something up like that about their niece?
Chapter 7, you call it stress fractures. And you say it was a couple of weeks before your 17th birthday. You say, Robert told me the copies of one of the sex tapes of 14-year-old me were beginning to be sold on the streets of Chicago and across the country. Your reaction to that when you think about hearing those words from R. Kelly, that this tape is out there, and you were 14 years old?
I was empty. I was very hollow inside. I was very confused. Didn't know what to expect. And I was embarrassed.
I want to read part of that in terms of just sort of what you were feeling at that time, because at some point, the remedy for this, according to, you know, you refer to him as Robert in the book, is that he wants to tell your parents.
Mhm.
And you say, Robert told me how he would tell my parents the truth
Mhm.
about us. My mom and I were in one room, and my dad and Robert were in another. You go on to say some other things, but eventually you get to this part. After a while, Dad came storming out of the room, crying hysterically and cursing, saying to R. Kelly, "You're sick. I can't rock with you. I can't help you. You need to get help." He yelled at Robert, who followed us into the elevator and was on his knees crying. "Man, I'm sorry. I just love her."
Wasn't this around the same time that he was with Aaliyah? On his knees. He would have been on his knees permanently, because I would have, her father, girl.
So the turning point from innocent goddaughter running around just trying to learn the music industry to something more like you're trying to make sense of why he's calling you and saying, you know, what are you wearing, this type of thing, to now you're confronted with something that's out there, and he's saying the solution is just tell them. I know it looks crazy, but I believe you're my angel, as you refer to in the book. And your dad initially is upset. He's crying. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. Why wasn't that the moment when you look back where you were not allowed to see R. Kelly anymore, be around him? Take us to why it was so complicated for you and your family, and what you said to your parents.
It was very complicated. My dad wanted to make the right decision, and he was not okay with anything that took place. I was more under Robert's brainwash. I was more under his spell, and he utilized me against my parents, making threats of suicide and doing different things out of desperation.
Sorry ass. The same thing he was doing to all them other girls. And exactly, why wasn't this the point to where you wasn't going to be around him anymore? Because at this point, what were you, 15, 16 now?
To convince them to not turn on him. And because I had been groomed for so long to carry out this mission and also not want that girl on the videotape to be myself, I thought in my little mind that maybe that was the best approach. We felt more protected and had more resources and help through him than taking matters into our own hands with the celebrity and the industry and not wanting to be the people to end R. Kelly and deal with hatred and many things. So, I mean, I'm not here to sugarcoat.
Because people will do that now. They will counsel you for being a victim. And back then in those days, they might have not have done it so much, but in the days today, it would be hell. She would have went through damn sure hell. But that tape was very infamous back in the day. So I don't know what their reactions would have been, but if she would have came forward, but I'm not sure. But everybody that's seen that fucking tape knew that this girl was underage.
Any shortcomings of my parents or myself, but at the time, that's what made us feel the safest.
You felt as though R. Kelly was holding all of the cards, had all of the power.
He did.
How did you make peace with your parents later? Because that's also something, I mean, even at the beginning of this interview, speaking of dedicating the book to him, and my condolences, because I know he passed away in 2021, but how were you able at this age to make peace with everything that's happened and your parents' involvement?
When you become a parent, you have a different way of thinking. But I also look at the other women and the other survivors and the other, people who, he dealt with, who lost total communication with their parents and their.
Oh, she must have dedicated it because he passed away. But rest in peace to him. But he did not protect his damn daughter.
Families, and literally lived everything that he made them think or everything that they made him feel.
Yeah.
So in a sense of why it might be presented to look a certain way, my parents actually saved me. They're the reason why I'm sitting here today. Because if it had not been for them, if I lost complete communication with them and I was literally living his dreams, his brain, his way of thinking, I don't know where I would be. Mentally, physically, or emotionally.
When the trial started and the questions from federal investigators are coming, when you look back again, so much of this is people being able to try and understand it through your lens. You're living it. You're the only one with this story. Why not tell the truth in 2002 or 2008 when there was finally a trial after 6 years?
That's one of my biggest regrets, not telling the truth. But again, when I have been trained and groomed since I was age 13, I started believing the lies that I was telling. It was very foggy and unclear on what I really felt versus what was right or what was wrong. And even in moments where I despised Robert, I still lied for him.
When I look back at that trial, even this idea that people who were not part of the jury were able to see some of that video, and the jokes that came from the video, because we're talking about seeing a person at the time, not knowing who it is for sure, being urinated on and talked about. Do you look at even the justice system as not protecting you to some extent? I mean, thinking about that video being played before a gallery of everyday citizens?
I definitely think things could have been handled differently. I'm happy I wasn't there to witness everyone watching that. To the world imagery, I was not made to be a victim. I was a mockery. And that was very difficult to digest. It was very disheartening to know that my body was just being displayed and tossed around.
That's because the motherfucker you was fucking on was put the shit out there or had recorded it and was doing it to other people, and they took the video and put it out. And then you say you wasn't a victim. You said it wasn't you. So I get her point on, again, this was clearly an underage girl. So I don't think the jokes and people making a mockery of that situation was right at all. Because again, even though her and her family were lying to sub Sparkle, and now I'm questioning if Sparkle just said that told because of her exile, or was it genuine? But you didn't say you were a victim. But again, everybody that watched that it was clear that that girl was a fucking kid. So I don't think that those jokes and all of that stuff should have been even out like that, or people should not have joked about that, because that wasn't a slight to him, because he didn't give a fuck. R. Kelly continued on doing the same thing to other underage women, girls. But nobody really thought about how it would make that girl feel. So,
and when I look back on it, I wish things could have been done differently, but those are all of the things that I had to internalize.
How were you able to sit through the trial in the parking lot? Because I think to know that you were so close to the trial that could have put R. Kelly away back then, and listen to his instruction. Don't watch television. Don't read the paper. I mean, this wasn't the same, social media wasn't a thing in 2008 the way that it is now. But take us back to, and I know you're going to get a lot of these types of questions because most of this book is based on the past and how you've been able to come out of it. But take us back to what it was like being in a van and knowing that just a few hundred feet away, his life was on the line.
That was very scary. I didn't understand why he wanted me there, why he made those choices, but I just went with a program. It was very difficult because I would also be paranoid. Like, what if somebody raids the bus, or what if the wrong person walks on here? But I don't know if he did it for comfort of not wanting, of being afraid of me just having the freedom to just walk out if I wanted to.
Right.
But he kept me very close in that way.
What was your reaction to that 2008 not guilty verdict? You talk.
Do y'all understand how sick that is? Do y'all really understand how sick that is? That the girl that he's accused of violating, he has her under his control outside in his tour bus, restricting her from watching the news and shit like that, so she can't hear outside influence of what the fuck he did to her. But he can do all of those disgusting things, including piss on her and pay her $100.
About it in the book, but tell us how you were really feeling at that time.
I felt happy for him. I didn't want to see his career end. I didn't want to see him taken from his family. I thought things were going to change for him, for us. I thought things would just get a lot better. I thought this was our freedom to just be family and to, all of the different traumas and me having to hide and disguise myself and be lonely and away from my family. I thought that was closure to all of the negative things that he kind of made me feel like had to happen during this case that lasted for so many years.
And at this point too, you're in your 20s.
Right.
So you're thinking, yeah, this stuff happened, but this is our chance to reset.
Right.
But what actually happened?
Things got worse. And then I started realizing that I had been used and utilized for a purpose, that I was a placeholder, that I was here to make sure Robert didn't go to jail, not because he loved me, not because he was my protector or because I was his angel. My purpose was done. He was finished.
And you talk about moving out and starting your own, going on vacation, really getting a taste of what it is to be independent. But even though you left R. Kelly, you left the home, you never quite left his orbit. Explain.
That was definitely me operating out of cognitive dissonance. It was more so like I knew things were wrong. I knew everything that I went through, but this is all I've known for the majority of my life. This is the behavior that was my normal and that I felt like was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of afraid to operate outside of him. I didn't know what to do. I had to literally learn myself from a 12-year-old girl up into who I was to today.
Yeah. And that was hard to
It was very
completely let
difficult.
go. January 3rd, 2019, Surviving R. Kelly airs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see all?
Yeah, that's she just said 12. So that's why I don't believe she was 14 in that video. I think she was 12 or 13. I think she was 12. I think that girl was 12 in that video.
It's a 6-part series. Did you see all of it?
I don't know if I saw all of it, but I saw enough.
And you thought then?
That was the spirit of conviction came over me during that moment.
Because of that documentary, that docuseries?
Yes.
And when you say the spirit of conviction, what do you mean by that?
Somehow I felt responsible that he was able to hurt so many more people. During the time, I thought maybe these were just sexual fetishes that he had with me. Maybe this was just abuse I was going through. But when I saw that his behavior had gotten so much worse, and he was allowed to hurt so many people because I lied, that did not sit well with me as an adult, as a woman.
Is that the moment you decided you were going to cooperate with federal investigators?
Yes. It was in that moment. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It was a breaking point for me, for sure.
I really want people to understand your perspective about how difficult this was and the psychological factor, because you put it out there in the book because you want people to understand it. It's almost like you're talking to the reader at times when you say, now listen, I know you might think this, or even the way you protected folks in the book. You don't really go in about things you clearly know. It's almost like you are saying, I want to stick to my story and I don't want to make judgment on other people for their decisions.
That is right.
But you talk about this conflict of a back and forth, even with the text messages that the defense showed in court to say, wait a minute, they were texting like, hey, how's it going? Are you good? I'll call my mom. She recently lost her mom. And, they're trying to create this image that you're fine. For people that don't understand what that's like to be you and in that position, help folks understand this, you say the cognitive dissonance, but also this back and forth dance of trying to tell yourself, I'm good, I'm fine. Yeah. That's why we're cool. Almost like you almost have to have that power too to say, you don't have power over me because see, look, we're good. You can text me and I'll text you back.
That is very true. And what I will say about that is not everything about Robert was terrible, even though it was that way most of the time. Not everything about him. This was a person that I did feel like I loved and I grew into loving, and he was family in some areas. Not everything about him was terrible. The moments were, though, very frequently. But it was just a battle of me convincing myself, like, I made it out. I'm good now. I can be cool with him. I can see him with other women. I tried to maintain whatever friendship. I still loved his children. And, honestly, I cared about his well-being, even outside of just, like everything that was happening. So it was a battle internally for me.
So this was the time that he was still married to that girl. So she was with him with Aaliyah and all of this stuff. His wife and everything. So she stayed around him much longer. And if she was in her 20s when he went to the first trial, he had this girl completely brainwashed.
Me to fully, let go of somebody that I had been groomed into fully being dependent upon.
In March of that same year, so shortly after the R. Kelly docuseries comes out on Lifetime, Gayle King sat down with him and the two women that he was in a relationship with at the time. Did you happen to see that?
I did.
When you saw him react in the way that he did about this, you're trying to take my life. And, I thought about playing that for you, but I don't even want you to have to see him because I think it's not necessary. But when you saw that version of him, as you talk about, it wasn't like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But did you feel for him, or did you think he's going down and he's scared?
Well, first I thought it was very Broadway of him to act like that. That was very normal for him to have that type of response. And when I heard those girls speak, I knew it.
She's probably was seeing herself in them. And his ass put, like she just said, real Broadway, putting on a damn show, knowing good and damn well he wrong as two left damn shoes. Like somebody after him, somebody trying to do this to him, and all the shit he had been doing with them girls. When that docu-series came out, because he knew that docu-series was coming out, Surviving R. Kelly, he knew that was coming out. He was trying to get it not to come out. When he knew that he couldn't stop that shit from coming out, he should have got the fuck out of Dodge and let them girls go home. Make them go home. But no, again, they think they bigger than the fucking program, and he thought he was just Billy Badass. No, that shit not gonna fly no more. People is standing up to your ass now. And you still kept them damn girls instead of making them go home, even if they didn't want to, because you had brainwashed them so fucking bad.
Exactly who was talking through them. I knew exactly what mission they had, the convincing, the firmness, everything that I had been trained and groomed to do. I read right in between that. And in that moment, I did not feel sorry for him at all. I felt like you still don't get it. You're still convincing yourself of all the lies that you are, bleeding into everyone else. And I knew exactly what took place was getting ready to happen. And he was very scared. He knew it too.
As you sit here today, do you feel like you are completely healed?
No, I'm a work in progress. I have a long road ahead of me, but I can look back and I know exactly where I come from, and I can see the stars now.
I wanted you to, if you would, read something that I think would be best if we heard it from you. And this is the grace note. I highlighted this section because, I'm not going to make you read all 3 or 4 pages.
Okay.
But I think it would be important to hear this in your own words.
Yes. That's fine.
And the last part.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dear beautiful soul, it's you. It's always been you. You were the girl with saucer fries, and the world was a buffet spread out in front of you. You were the girl who spit rhymes and played basketball with all you had. You loved your parents and especially your baby brother. You loved going to church. You were a friend. Reshona Landfair. Don't believe yourself not to be good enough. There is no yardstick for good enough. You were a girl, perfectly imperfect human being. You could not have lived your life in reverse. There was no way for you to know what you know now. So if you don't remember anything else, remember that children don't protect themselves from danger. Let go and let God. No one else holds power over your mind, body, or spirit. It's taken a while for you to arrive at the sure footing of this knowledge. But it's a good place to be. This is your moment. It's good to be you. God willing, you have more living and loving and growing to do. Go live in your truth and walk in your light. Embrace this next chapter in your journey with anticipation that God will plant new dreams in the fertile soul of your heart. Love you times infinity, Reshona.
How proud are you of yourself?
I'm very proud of myself. I've come a long way.
As she should be. As she should be. That had to be a damn lot. I mean, too much. Too much.
A lot of cold nights. But I mean,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
And what she said there at the end is, but I am here today. And that is really at the core of her book. She's now a mother of a 5-year-old son. We did reach out to her aunt Sparkle, who said she is relieved that Reshona is in her healing journey. Sparkle also said this: any suggestion that I groomed, facilitated, or enabled harm to my niece is untrue and deeply painful. As for R. Kelly, who is currently serving sentences for 2 federal convictions, an attorney representing him told us they could not comment on specific allegations in the book without reading it. The attorney added that Kelly wishes Reshona success and peace at all levels.
His sorry ass should.
How are you doing?
So Sparkle said she didn't. So maybe that was innocent, or she like, sit on his lap. I don't know. That sounds weird to me, Sparkle. We need a little explanation about this. Did that sound weird to y'all? Put it in the comment section and let me know. Do y'all think that Sparkle was involved in this? Like, did she, basically set this up for him to be able to groom her niece? Or do y'all think that she was genuinely like, what the, and taken aback? Because if they're saying that, and I wondered, and so she must don't even talk to Sparkle anymore. And I feel like if this was part of her healing journey, Sparkle, if you were innocent, I would think that the young lady would come to you and, reach out to you so y'all can make amends and be family, because she clearly don't have anything about her parents. Well, at least not about her father. She didn't mention her mother at all. Only time she mentioned her mother is when she said that she, was in the room talking to her mother, and R. Kelly was talking to her father, which should have ended in tragedy. I don't think it would have been a tragedy, but that's how it should have ended. So, yeah, what y'all think about that? I think I'm gonna order that book. I think I really want to order this book because, again, this young lady is so well spoken, and I want to see what she has to say. I'm probably gonna be crying the whole time because, like I said, even the tape was enough. It was enough. And shame on these people that still is so fucking in love with R. Kelly. I understand if y'all love his music, but most of the women, they don't say they just love the music. They love him. And that is pathetic. That is honestly pathetic. Even after y'all watch that series of Surviving R. Kelly and y'all got to say that y'all still love this man and stuff like that, it's sad and pathetic. And I can understand now how she probably felt being so young and being groomed from such a young age to all these women that love him so much. Because I used to be one of the women that used to think like that, like these stars, when they get accused of like grape or whatever, without the G. And I just be like, why would he want to do that? He can have anybody he want. Why would he do that? They're lying. But now as I got older, I'm like, when you think about these guys and their psyches, I believe the women. I believe it's the thrill of the chase. It's the no that turns them on. They can get every woman except that one that told them to get the fuck out of their face. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Are y'all gonna buy the book? I think I'm about to order the book as we speak. Okay. So let me know in the comment section. And then tomorrow I'll probably come back and do the Rolling Stone article. Or I might go live and do the Rolling Stone article because y'all might want to talk about it. So we'll see. Okay. In the meantime, in between time, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell notification so you know every time I upload a new video. And yeah, y'all might just be getting some pre-records because, again, I'm being stalked too bad, and it's getting on my fucking nerves too much. And I want to go live and talk to y'all because I want to talk about this. And I know y'all probably want to talk about this, but I don't know about these damn weirdo ass people. It's too much. Okay. So y'all, comment in the comment section and let me know what's tea, what y'all think about this young lady. Y'all think she telling the truth? Y'all think she might be hiding some truths? Like what y'all think? Let me know. All right. Bye.
Oh my gosh. Ew.
Hold on, 20.
Huh?
Hold on, 20. Hold on.
What'd you say?
I said, hold on, 20. Hold on, please.